So Ben, we've spoken in the past about people dealing with rejection, but how do they actively go about dealing with it?
So do you know what? There was a wicked talk that I watched on TED about this, and it referred to a website, rejectiontherapy.com, and it's a funny talk. I'll post the link under the video anyway. But it was basically going through the whole concept of get yourself practiced in dealing with rejection. So basically what he outlined is he set up a load of things that he would do on each day that he knew he would get rejected for. So I think the first day he went and asked some random passerby on the street for like $10. And then obviously got rejected for it and he like ran away. And then he went into a burger joint on the second day and he was like, can I get a burger refill? Dude's like, what's a burger refill? And he's like, it's like a drink refill but with a burger. So he's like, no, we don't do burgers here. But he's like, I didn't run away that time because I was getting a bit more used to it. So I think the underlying premise of this is, it's like anything. You need to get practiced in it. So if you struggle to deal with rejection, then create your own list on it. And you've done it on one per day. Create activities where you know you're going to get rejected. It's not going to be end of life rejection here, but little things like, if you're scared of rejection, of going to speak to strangers, then just go and speak to a stranger. Worst that can happen is that you get rejected, but you learn to deal with it. And as it happens more and more, you become more accustomed with it. So that as you go on through your life and you deal with bigger rejections, it becomes easier to handle it going forwards. And then there was an interesting point that he spun on it, where he was like, they got to a point in time where people start saying yes. He was like, this isn't the point. I'm supposed to get rejected. Yeah. So I think he said he went to put a plant in something. He knocked on the door. He said, can I plant this plant in your garden? And the guy was like, well, no. And the point he was making is, when you get rejected, start to consider asking why you're getting rejected. So he said, okay, do you mind if I ask why? He's like, well, I've got a dog that just digs up everything that I plant, so I can't go, and there's no point in me having anything in my garden. But so-and-so who lives across the road, she'd love it. So he refers to it in sales term as getting a referral, which he converts. So he goes across the road, plants it in her garden, shows a picture of it. Again, everybody laughs because it's like this half dead plant. But the point he was getting to is, people don't tend to just reject you for no reason. So once you get yourself to a point where rejection doesn't scare you as much as it did and you run off, next step is, when you're no longer running off and you're still standing there, yet you've been rejected, but ask the question why. And you either, maybe there are some people who are still living out there and vindictive, and they will just be like, I'm just rejecting you because I want to reject you. But in most instances, there will be an underlying reason behind it. So when you get into the habit of asking why, you start to tease out what that reasoning is. It may send you on another opportunity that it presents in front of you, or it may put you in a position where you get a good learning value out of it and something you can think about going forward. So I think it's one of those. It's all well and good to just go on the sites, and he refers to it as well at the start of his talk. It's like, it's all well and good, how do I deal with rejection? And all the speakers and the nice pictures out there will say, well, just deal with it. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know we just need to deal with it, right? But how do we deal with it? So I would say, if you struggle with rejection at the moment, write out kind of your 30-day list. Go on rejectiontherapy.com, I'll post a link on it again underneath, and he kind of outlines more of his theory behind this. I would encourage you to kind of approach that, come up with your whole 30-day list, create your whole things that you're going to get rejected at. I can guarantee that by the end of it, you'll become so much more accustomed to dealing with rejection, not in a bad way, but in a good way, so that all those constraints that you've created in your life that are holding you back because of that fear of getting a no, all of a sudden you've opened up a world of opportunity because you no longer fear that no, so you're ready to take on that challenge.